Good afternoon, guys. Today's B this afternoon talks about senior care costs and their out of pocket expense. Okay, so we're going to go through that for B. So please join me for B's presentation. Here we go. Short answer that headline almost certainly meant care, not car. About 14% of seniors are projected to incur more than 100,000 out-of-pocket long-term care costs during their lifetime, a figure cited in recent reporting about long-term care risk. Key factors and what they mean. What the 14% refers to: research and reporting summarized by Money Talks News and picked up by MSN estimate that roughly 14% of people age 65 will face more than 100,000 in out-of-pocket long-term care costs at some point. This is a lifetime risk estimate, not an annual bill. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Why this matters. Medicare generally does not cover long-term custodial care, and Medicaid is the primary public payer for most long-term institutional care, but it has strict eligibility rules tied to assets and income. Many older adults are surprised by the gap between expectations and annual coverage. Insurance reality: long-term care insurance can reduce out-of-pocket risk, but premiums rise sharply with age, and applicants in their 70s face higher denial rates and much higher costs than those who buy earlier. Practical steps to reduce your risk. Give me 1 second. Estimate your personal exposure. Calculate likely scenarios. Home care versus assisted living. Assisted living versus nursing home, and local costs. Nursing home care can easily exceed tens of thousands per year. Use conservative cost assumptions when planning. Consider insurance options sooner rather than later. If you're still in your 50s or early 60s, traditional LTC policies are cheaper and underwriting is easier for older buyers. Look at hybrid life/LTC products or limited benefit plans. They have trade-offs, but can cap out of pocket exposure. Preserve liquidity and document planning. Keep an emergency pool and document powers of attorney, advance directives, and care preferences. Talk to an elder law attorney about Medicaid planning if you expect higher institutional costs. Talk to professionals. A free a fee-only financial planner and an elder law attorney can model scenarios and explain state Medicaid rules and asset protection strategies. I'm not a I'm not a financial advisor. Consult a qualified professional for personalized planning. Risks, trade-offs to watch. Waiting rises Waiting raises costs and denial risk. Buying late often means higher premiums or being declined. Medicaid planning can be complex and time sensitive. Improper transfers or timing can jeopardize eligibility. Short answer, most people turning 65 will need some long-term services and supports, LTSS, in their lifetime, and a meaningful minority will face very large out-of-pocket bills. Planning now matters. Why you're probably wrong to assume you'll never need care. These these are lifetime population level probabilities, not guarantees for any one person. They combine short home care spells and long nursing home stays. Most people who need care get at least some unpaid help from family. A small share of people account for most costs. Long intensive needs, dementia, multiple ADL dependencies drive the six-figure bills. Practical planning steps. What to do now. Model scenarios. Estimate local cost for home care, assisted living, and nursing homes, and multiply by plausible durations. 1, 3, or 5 years. Use conservative assumptions. Consider timing for insurance. Buying long-term care or hybrid policies early, 50s, 60s is usually cheaper. Waiting raises premiums and denial risk. Preserve liquidity and document wishes. Keep an emergency pool set up in advance. Directives and power of attorney. And discuss caregiving preferences with family. Get professional help for complex planning. An elder care or elder law attorney can explain Medicaid rules. A fee-only financial planner can model trade-offs. I'm not a financial advisor. Consult one for personalized advice. Risks, trade-offs to watch. Relying on Medicare is risky. Generally does not cover custodial LTSS. Medicaid can cover nursing homes, but has strict asset rules and requires careful timing for eligibility. Family caregiving is common but costly in time and loss of earnings. It's not a free substitute for paid care. Here is a structured explanation of the text based primarily on the surrounding page content you are viewing. I'll anchor each. Key points to the specific sections of the page using citations. What the text is saying in plain language: most Americans who reach age 65 will eventually need long-term care services and supports, LTSS. The report finds that 70% of adults who survive to age 65 will develop severe LTSS needs before they die. Severe LTSS needs means needing help with 2 or more activities of daily living, or ADLs, like bathing, dressing, or getting in and out of bed, or having severe cognitive impairment, such as dementia. But fewer people actually receive paid care, even though 70% will need help. Only 48% receive any paid care LTSS over their lifetime. Many rely entirely on unpaid family caregivers instead of paid services. Most paid care episodes are short. Among those who do receive paid care, only 24% get more than 2 years of paid LTSS. Only 15% spend more than 2 years in a nursing home. This means long, drawn out paid care is not the norm, even though disability itself may last longer. The risk of needing and receiving care is not evenly distributed. People with fewer financial resources are more likely to develop severe LTSS needs, receive paid care, experience long periods of disability and paid care. Whether adults often delay disability until later ages and rely more on family support. Why this matters. The report emphasizes that understanding lifetime LTSS risk is essential for planning how to finance care, designing better public programs, helping families prepare for the realities of aging. What lifetime risk means in this context. The report uses decades long of longitudinal data, 1995 to 2014, to estimate how likely it is that someone who reaches 65 will ever develop severe disability, need help with daily activities, receive paid home care, enter residential care. Spend 90 days in a nursing home, use Medicaid financed nursing home care. For example, 29% will 29% will receive paid care, 28% will receive at least 90 days of nursing home care, 13% will receive Medicaid financed long-term nursing home care. Why the numbers differ from and how many people need care in a single year. The text explains lifetime risk is much higher than what you see in any given year because disability and care needs accumulate over time. People may have short episodes of care that don't show up in annual snapshots. Many needs occur near the end of life. In short, the surrounding page content explains that needing long-term care is common, but receiving long-term paid care is less common, and and long spells of paid care are even rarer. Financial resources strongly shape who receives care and for how long. This is one of the most comprehensive analysis of LTSS lifetime risk using nearly 20 years of national data. Okay, guys, now the reason I did this topic for B today is because this always happens in society. People people don't think ahead. People don't give themselves enough services. Now, when somebody is applying for attendant care, what we typically do is we go see the person, and we have a long list of questions we ask a person, and based on their answers, we estimate how many hours they need a week. Okay, it's sort of a trial and error basis. You have to see what fits the person for services, what they'll actually use, because you don't want to give somebody services and they use half of them and half of them go down the drain. You want to make sure you give enough person enough supports, but you have to do a sort of a give and take, little song and dance when it fits, and when it doesn't fit, you have to change it. You like when I used to do nursing home transition stuff for local companies, I'd have to go in and see the person in person for weeks on end and tailor their services for them until they went home. Because you take a person out of a nursing home and put them in a regular apartment or a disabled apartment with attendant care, you want to make sure that their services match exactly what they need for their service. And if it doesn't match, you have to go and refigure that. And doing a refiguration takes more time than setting it up in the first place. So my suggestion to you is when you set your services up, make sure that you do it right the first time with somebody's help. Personal, you have to find a nursing home transition person who does attendant care for you to make sure it's done right. So for now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.